door. And so when I go into a house like that, we got to try to find the open door. What's the open door? How did the devil get in this house? You let him in. That's how he got in. And you let him in through that TV, number one. And Disney is evil. Disney promotes the homosexual agenda. I know people that went to Disney, and of course they didn't listen to me. And they get down there and they said, Father, there was a homosexual parade, men nude. They didn't even want to give us our money back. Why would you want to support a company like that? And then they own many other companies that promote satanic music, satanic all ritual. It's demonic. And they're putting curses on their thing. They got embedded art in their movies from Snow White down, male body parts. And if you think it's a joke, look it up. So I just had a couple of incidents I'll tell you about with Disney. Like a woman I know, they have a lot of problems. Good traditional Catholics, Trinity Mass, Rosary, you name it. But the devil's got in somehow. And what I'm finding is this, my friends, the devil is going after the good families, the holy families. Because he doesn't have to go after the other ones. He owns them. He doesn't have to do anything to get them to follow him. They follow him on his own. St. Maximilian Kolbe says that. St. Maximilian Kolbe says many people blame the devil for their sins. They got nobody to blame but themselves. He goes, he don't bother most of those people in the world because they do it willingly. He goes, but those that want to consecrate themselves with God and follow God, he will attack them viciously because he doesn't want you in heaven. He doesn't want your children in heaven. You know, the test that Satan failed was, it was revealed that the Jesus Christ, the second person of the Holy Trinity, would take flesh of a woman. And that she would be the queen of heaven and earth. And she'd be above the angels. She'd be the queen of the angels. And he said, non-serving, I will not serve. I will not bow down before a woman whose nature, human nature, is below an angel's nature. He wouldn't serve. And so, my friends, now human beings like you, myself, we have a chance to obtain what he has lost for eternity. Because unlike human beings, they didn't get a second chance. When the angels sinned, they were cast into the pit of hell instantly. And they will be there for eternity. For eternity. So the devil comes after those that are serious. And I've been seeing this over the last 10 years especially. Good families, all of a sudden, not even watching TV, that the devil somehow, these kids are having problems. Wicked nightmares, and then I come do the prayers and go, I have to make exercise salt for the family, exercise water, and so on. I teach them how to use their weapons, and then these things go. But this one lady, so she had many problems, and they said, get rid of all the Disney. So they went through the house, they thought they got rid of all the Disney, but they didn't. So one day, her little girl, not even 2 years, she went to her sister. She goes, I have bad underwear on. And she had an underwear from Disney, an emblem on it. And so they didn't take it off right away. And then the kid went to bed, and she started manifesting in her sleep, going, when I say I mean going wild, screaming, screeching, uncontrollable for no reason. So then the mother said, get the underwear off. They got it off. They took it, and they had a fire going, and they drew it in the fire. Now, people say it wouldn't burn for a while, and some say because they put fire retard on it now, because everyone looks for the natural answer, of course, and that's fine. But all of a sudden, the thing went up in flames. And what happened now, you judge for yourself, it came into a big ball of black smoke the size of a cantaloupe, around 8 inches in diameter. And it came out of the fireplace towards the mother, around almost 2 feet, 1.5 to 2 feet. And then the thing just went, she said a prayer, and the thing, poof, gone. No ashes, no dust, nothing. Because it had curses on it. So you could believe this and that. Another friend called me, very good Catholic, and he said, my daughter's flipping out, Father, I don't know what's going on. I know the family well. And she was screaming, I hear her screeching. And he goes, she took all her clothes off in her room, and she's screaming, kicking, out of control. And I said, okay, and she went under the bed. She ran. When he started to call me, she didn't want to hear my name. And so I get on the phone, I said, put it on speakerphone. I did a deliverance prayer. He couldn't believe it. She came out under the bed. stopped crying, put her clothes on, and went on and like nothing happened. So I told him, I said, I'm telling you what your problem is Disney. She was obsessed with Disney. She, all she does is dream about Disney. She had all the Disney. I said, you got to strip her of all the Disney stuff. And, most parents are slow at this. Oh, Father, you're radical. You're over the top. I said, yeah, okay. You love your daughter so much. You're going to let her be tortured by these evil ones? Shame on you. And so sure enough, it would happen periodically, but he'd get rid of some more. And finally, she was flipping out again. I said it has to all go. So he finally got everything out of the house. And now the kids are sleeping because he had 6 kids and they were all waking up, wicked nightmares. Now that the Disney is gone, it's gone. And so your children are all obsessed with these things. And then I see good homeschoolers. I just had a man that I've been helping for 10 years, giving spiritual direction. He brought his kids up with the true faiths, Trinity Mass every day, Rosary every day, spiritual readings from the Father. He's a real man. He leads a family in every way and spiritually too. Otherwise, it wouldn't bother with him. And so he does this, and now he's having problems with his 2 young boys. One boy's he's going to turn 18. His father had to sit him down because of his disobedience to say, you got your marching orders. On your birthday, you have to leave because you will not follow the laws of my house or the laws of God. And this kid, he found them with a little iPod or something he got and went to Walmart, spent $25, and then they could get hooked up on the internet. And I won't even tell you what he found on that thing. And so my whole point is, even the good families, you're going to be attacked. You think the devil's going to sit back while you're trying to raise your children up and bring them to heaven? No, he's going to attack. And he does. So all these things, the iPad, go on and on and on. The media is destroying. You see everyone's on their cell phone today. Nobody knows how to have a conversation. This is all demonic. Because what's happening with all these things, like Disney, when the kids get obsessed, I've seen teenagers, young adults singing that crazy song from that Disney, Frozen. They're obsessed. They can't stop singing it. What do you think that is? All obsessed. You know why? What these things do to you? They do to your children. They detach you from reality. They get your children to live in a fantasy land. So I told him, and my friend, some of his kids, I gave them some nicknames. And so the one girl she wanted a nickname too, the one that had a problem with this. She goes, I know what name I want. I said, what is it? She says, Princess. I said, no way. But my whole point is get these kids are obsessed. And they live. If I take my kid's video game, Father, he's gonna start screaming and yelling. So give him a crack in the head. So what? If your kid wants to hold fire, you're going to let him hold fire and play with fire? No. Our Lord says, don't worry about those that could do harm to your body, but cast thy soul into Gehenna. You parents got to start having a backbone. You don't let your children govern you. You govern your children. This is the problem. Oh, Father, I'm afraid if I discipline my daughter, she's going to run away. Or I won't have a relationship with her. So you're willing to cut your relationship off with God by committing sins of omission and not disciplining your children and doing what is right so you could have this demonic relationship with your daughter where she holds you hostage. I'm sorry, my friends. I'm here to tell you that's not the way. And we have to say, just like the prodigal son in the parable, you notice he had to leave the father's house because he couldn't live that way in the father's house. And then he went and we repented and he came back and the father embraced him. But you don't, of course, Father, I'm going to go to my daughter. She's getting married outside the church. I'm going to go because Father Bozo told me I have to keep the relationship open. Are you for real? You're going to, so then I tell them, they said, so you're the only priest. I said, I don't care. And then so they said, well, how about this, Father? How can I won't go to the ceremony by the judge, but justice of the peace, but can I go to the reception? I said, are you on drugs? So in other words, I use this analogy in my missions all the time. So say your son goes, Dad, I got my 45 cocked and loaded. I'm going to shoot Tommy in the head. Come with me. I want you to watch this. I want you to witness it. And so the dad goes, you know, Tom, I won't come with you, but I'll meet you in the pub and we'll celebrate after you blow someone's brains out and commit a mortal sin. Well, your daughter or your son's an adulterer or a fornicator, and you're going to go celebrate that? What's wrong with you? You know what's wrong with you? You're not on your knees. You're not praying. Because if you're doing your mental prayer and you're praying a rosary, you won't do those things. St. Alphonse says mental prayer and mortal sin cannot coexist. You will give up one or the other. I hope it's the sin.